All right, good morning, everyone, and welcome to WHIT Radio's The Morning Buzz. I'm your host, Michael. I'm joined by Bria. How are you?
Hi, Mike. How are you?
I'm doing great. You see, we're extremely enthusiastic this morning. We have lots of energy because for the last 45 minutes, we've been listening to Michael Jackson.
Oh, my God.
And that, for some reason, just pumps us up. So we are ready. We are ready to do possibly the best show ever. Are we ready? I hope everyone else is ready.
The best show ever. My shows
we're
are
ready.
the best shows ever.
Well, we're going. Here we go.
Yeah.
We're just taking off. Okay. Today in the news, acetaminophen could become deadly after a certain dose. An amazing man saved students after the New Mexico shooting, which is a shame. This day in history, as always, we have more celebrity birthdays, and we will join meteorologist Michael DePinto at our weather center. But first, let's talk about acetaminophen. And just for everyone's information, that is Tylenol. That's the generic version of Tylenol. So everyone tune in. You might want to listen. The Food and Drug Administration is asking doctors to stop prescribing combination drugs with more than 325 milligrams of acetaminophen, citing the risk of liver damage. There are no available data to show that taking more than 325 milligrams of acetaminophen per dosage units provides additional benefits that outweighs the added risk for liver injury, the FDA said in a statement on Tuesday. The government agency is recommending health professionals to stop prescribing and dispensing combination drugs that contain more than 325 milligrams of acetaminophen per dose. Combination drug contains two or more drugs. Acetaminophen is often used in combinations with opioids such as oxycodone, which is Percocet, hydrocodone, which is Vicodin, and codeine, Tylenol with codeine. So very dangerous. The warning does not apply to over-the-counter drugs such as Tylenol, which contains acetaminophen, but the FDA said it will address over-the-counter acetaminophen products in another regulatory action. So definitely, folks, you got to be careful with acetaminophen. I don't recommend taking it at all. I honestly think taking ibuprofen or something.
Or drink some orange juice.
Drink orange juice, take
orange
ibuprofen.
Juice, yeah.
But acetaminophen, take some other NSAIDs like aspirin. But this, you have to really be careful with it, especially when you mix alcohol. When you bring alcohol into the mix, acetaminophen can be absolutely deadly. It's already, it said deadly.
It's a trend now with the same thing you just said with the codeine.
The codeine, yeah, absolutely.
Like a lot of rappers now and a lot of people with the trends want to put like Robitussin and NyQuil with Sprite and stuff, and I'm just like, that's not normal and it's deadly.
There's no point.
So much medicine is not supposed to be in your system because that can mess up your heart.
Right.
And
Acetaminophen is dangerous. Don't take it. Are you saying that?
What I am saying is that it should be taken in moderation. The FDA just released a statement, nothing over 325 milligrams. But the drug, yes, it is potentially dangerous. I know long-term use is dangerous. Too much is dangerous. Really, it's very toxic to the liver. So I would steer clear from it altogether and try to substitute it with, Motrin or something else like that.
Ibuprofen.
Right, ibuprofen, another fever reducer. But Bria, you have a very nice story.
Nice.
This amazing man, though, he saves these students. I meant the shooting was terrible down in New Mexico. But tell us about this man.
You know what's weird? It sort of sounds like the Connecticut situation.
Right. Situation.
But it's more of a cleaned up version of it. It's not that gory. It's not that.
That was terrible.
But a student saw blood everywhere after a shooting at New Mexico Middle School gymnasium Tuesday that ended with a social studies teacher talked a 12-year-old suspect into putting down the weapon. So it was a 12-year-old?
Oh, my goodness, yes.
Witnesses heard a loud pop, then looked up to see a fellow student on the floor, the victim of a bullet wound to the face from a sawed-off 20-gauge shotgun. The teacher, John Masterson, was praised by officials for his bravery. He stood there and allowed the gun to be pointed right at him. And that's very risky. Why is there a kid with a gun in the first place in the school? Don't they check the little kids' bags and stuff?
No, of course not. Of
No,
course
no.
not.
Do they check your bags when you come into school?
I mean,
No.
especially at 12 years old. No one suspects something like that. It was a sawed-off shotgun, which by style is a smaller weapon. It's just for that purpose, to be concealed. Again, this is a gun issue. Just availability of guns, the amount of guns that are out there. This is a gun issue. How did this child
They
get his
didn't
hands on
say
this weapon?
why he wanted to shoot or anything. It doesn't say that yet because nobody knows yet.
No one knows yet, but what
Yeah.
we do know is that a 12-year-old had a sawn-off, it's a 12-gauge shotgun in his possession. How does he get that?
This is disturbing. 12
This-
years old.
12 years old.
A very disturbing story.
12 years old, and
Yeah.
of course you're going to have the gun advocates come on out and say, well, place
It's
the
not.
blame
It's
somewhere
not
else.
the
but
person. It's
my
not the gun. It's the
it's
person.
not the
right?
gun, it's the person. But this 12-year-old found this weapon. I'm assuming probably in his home somewhere. He could have got it elsewhere, but it's a sad story. But that man, wow. The guy risked his life.
Yeah, he stood toe to toe with him, shielded the other students, and talked him out of it. Did he wound anybody, or was anybody shot at all? Or?
No.
No. Oh, that's good. That's
No, he
good.
only pointed the gun at the teacher.
Okay.
At the teacher?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh my goodness. These are scarier situations. I actually yesterday I was listening to the press briefing with the press secretary Jay Carney, and one of the questions was, well, this time last year, President Obama said they deserve a vote, and he named all the tragic, Newtown, Aurora, they deserve a vote. Gabby Gifford, she deserves a vote. And the guy asking said, well, they got the vote. Now it was, and it failed eventually. What does this mean now? Does this mean there are no more options? And I think Jay Carney handled it very well. He said, of course it doesn't mean there are no more options. I mean, it just means that we're going to keep fighting for gun control, and that it opens doors to explore other ways to get these weapons manufactured for bloodshed out of the wrong hands. So
I still think the gun control situation should be handled the right way. They should only use guns for I understand the wars and stuff like that, but not other things like that, like this. Right.
Unfortunately, not everyone sees it that way, and it's a problem because it really comes down to men want their toys. That's what they want. They want they like the power they get from it.
Yeah, the power. Just because you have a gun, you feel safe, you feel protected.
Right. Well, and that's what they claim. They say, Second Amendment. You can't limit the Second Amendment. It's there for a reason. But there are
everyone has the right to bear arms.
Right, and I'm not saying that they don't, but there are some caliber weapons with a certain amount of fire rate that just should not be on the market. You don't need it. You don't need it.
How do you guys feel that everybody should at least be able to have a gun in their home?
Well, that's the Second Amendment, and I'm certainly not abolishing it.
Right.
Not for abolishing it. I think if you want a pistol, you know what? These mass shootings that we have been seeing or a revolver, I'd like to see, one of those with a revolver. It's much more difficult, and you usually don't see these shootings that we have with weapons like small grade weapons like that. You see these more high caliber weapons, which they have a higher output.
Do you think everyone has the right to defend their home with, say, a pistol?
Yes, I absolutely do.
Okay.
Someone, but there was a case. I think it just passed month. It was the Stand Your Ground law, and let me tell you, there are a lot of loopholes in the Stand Your Ground law. I think a woman, I don't know the exact details of the case, but a woman knocked on a guy's door. She was in trouble, and he just shot her. He did not win that. I know he did not win that case, and that was an example of where Stand Your Ground just is used as an excuse to fire off a weapon and use
it's
it. Which
ridiculous. And it is too many stories of guys killing their girlfriends because they cheated on them.
My goodness,
I think it's the the harshest way to end a relationship by killing someone. You know,
Yeah.
you're ending someone else's life,
Right.
you know, and at the end of the day, that's going to have an effect on you,
Right.
and you just like it's
Yeah,
it's
but,
crazy.
and you don't just end someone else's life, you affect so many other people. The devastation is so widespread. They have family, they have friends, and it's not your right to take anyone else's life. You know, who do you think you are? It's absolutely wrong. Like I said before, it's an ongoing issue, and I'm sure we will see more congressional action. I'm sure we'll see the president pushing, using his power to push for more gun control. But the day is January 15th, but back in 1559,
Oh, that's
we're going far back. This day in history, Queen Elizabeth I was
Ooh.
crowned in Westminster Abbey. So how about that? Back in 1759, the British Museum opened. In 1777, the Republic of New Connecticut declared its independence. 6 months later, it was renamed Vermont. So how about that?
Mhm.
And 1967, the first Super Bowl was played.
Mhm.
Green Bay Packers, who won 35 over the Kansas City Chiefs, who scored 10. So
Who's the coach?
I'm not sure who the coach was back in '67, Mr. P.
He was a coach
I
at St.
wish I was
Cecilia's
back
in
then.
Englewood.
Really?
He was a coach for the New York Giants.
Uh-oh.
And the Super Bowl trophy is named after him.
Oh, here we go. What is it?
It's who? The Vince Lombardi trophy.
There it is.
Vince Lombardi.
Lombardi. There it is.
Number one coach probably of all time.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to have to bring on Michael DePinto, the weatherman, real
Are we?
quickly,
Okay.
because we're running out of time.
Oh, are we running out of time? All right. Michael DePinto, the weatherman. Well, I don't know about you New Jersey folks. Here we are. It's been foggy.
Foggy.
Very, very foggy.
I almost tripped this morning.
I know. Visibility
'Cause-
has been absolutely awful. Currently, it is 43 degrees. Weather
Yeah.
outside, we're cloudy. Today, we will go up to 46, though. And we might see some sun breaking in there. It does look dry, though, throughout the day. Tomorrow, it's going to be 44. Saturday, 38. Sunday, 38. And dry all through the weekend. And we will see some sun. So definitely
I
make
just
some
want to
outdoor
be able
plans.
to see because I have glasses, and the fog gets in my glasses. It's not working
Well, it
out.
took so long this morning to get to school
Yeah,
because
it
the
was
bus
really-
was
Yeah.
going
You
so
hardly-
slow.
Hardly see in front of you.
Dangerous because anything could happen, like when you can't see anything on the road.
Hey, we've been saying it all week. At least it's not snow, right? We're not
Yeah.
having those freezing temperatures. Well, that about wraps it up for today, everyone. Thank you for tuning into WHIT Radio's The Morning Buzz. I was your host, Michael. I was joined by Bria and Mr. P. Thanks, guys.